Hey people, thanks for joining us on another question and discussion session. This week's is going to be a short and sweet one, but I think it's worth a reminder, so stay tuned and let's get into it. Alright, so the post of the day is going to be this one up here, how to be mentally strong, and there are 9 points, but let's just get into the first 3 because I think they'll drive the point home very well and we can all draw from it. So the first one talks about not fearing alone time. All right, so alone time in itself is something I hold very sacred in my schedule. I come up with my best ideas in that space. I am also able to focus in on my priorities and clear out all distractions. So if you were to practice it yourself, cutting off from any form of distraction like notifications on your phone or even deleting certain apps that are distracting, it gives you an opportunity to really narrow down your energy and your creative energy on something that is more beneficial in the long run as opposed to not. At the same time too, if you're always the kind of person to constantly be available to everybody else, you tend to end up diluting your own energy and you'll pretty much be running in deficit. So with that being said, if you haven't tried number 1 out before, I encourage you to try it out because it can be very pivotal and beneficial in the long term towards your overall mental strength and growth in general. So yeah, try it out. So number 2 states, don't dwell on the past, and let's focus on failures and successes. You don't want to make your failures become anchors because they could stunt your growth. That's the short story of it. And you don't want to also focus in on your successes too much because they could essentially create a kind of environment of stagnation and complacency because you feel you've already done everything you need to, or there's no area of improvement that you could possibly embark on. So you don't want to dwell too much on your past. You want to essentially focus on your now and figure out what it is that you can draw from your past to improve your future. So there's one particular area you could focus on is essentially thinking long-term, building medium-term, and acting accordingly in the short term. And that's pretty much a good sense of how to approach the whole topic of the past. So point number 3 is do not expect immediate results. And I'll say that again. Do not expect immediate results. In fact, in order to become a mentally strong person, your best friend is delayed gratification. The reasons why delayed gratification is your best friend is because you relinquish the chances of becoming a slave to your emotions, to circumstance, to an environment, to a particular situation. With that in mind, this increases your mental strength and enables you the opportunity to not be at the mercy of external factors, because there are a lot of uncontrollables in life and in business and in general. So you might as well just embrace the process and focus in on the steps of growth that you are embarking on as opposed to expecting instant gratification for everything, because life doesn't work that way. So that's one thing to keep in mind. That brings us to the end of today's discussion, people. Thanks so much for joining. Those of you that are new, I really appreciate your engagement thus far. Feel free to hit us with a question or an issue or item you'd like to discuss in the next post, and I'll circle back with responses tomorrow. Have a good one.